Namaste. Why are you all sitting so far away? It's a lady talking now, try and come forward, yeah? Don't be afraid of me, just ignore what he says. I don't know, I heard a few speakers earlier today. I'm not afraid of DNVGL. They do marine surveys, they do marine casualty. I'm not afraid they're going to take my business away. Most of us, surveying companies, correspondents, we are small. We can't compete with them. But we have a niche market. We look at that. DNVGL, yes, they have the expertise. We should learn from them. We should synergize with them. We are not them, but we can give them the local support. So if there is an incident here, say in Kolkata, you have an expert, the insurers appoint them, but they still need someone local. And this is where we small surveying companies, the end of the food chain comes in, and we give them that. Okay, now back to this. So I'm not afraid of that. We are all here to support your organization as well, if you need us locally, okay? Surveying, synergy in marine surveying. Now, I'm coming to you today in the point of two ways that I'm presenting this paper. One is, as a company that gets instructions to do a survey. The second one is, as a company, appointing surveyors. Of course, we have to appoint surveyors for places that we are not represented or our own surveyors are occupied. I need help, so we do that. So I'm coming on this talk that I'm doing on two sides of it. Now, first thing is I ask myself, who are we? We are basically relied upon in the marine community for different functions, advising purchasers, underwriters, lending institutions on the condition and valuation of vessels, advising vessel owners on how to recover or salvage a vessel in distress, monitoring the salvage of vessels, acting as the eyes and ears of underwriters, which is what a topic that you would listen to by Nigel in more detail. Advising also underwriters in respect of the cost, nature and effect of any losses that we are appointed for, supervising repairs, providing expert opinions, carrying out operational surveys, preloading, warranties, loss prevention. Basically, we are a jack of all trades. As a marine surveyor, we are supposed to be able to handle everything in the marine industry. An example would be you're called upon in a situation like this. Now, I never disappoint on my photos, okay? If you don't listen to me, at least look at my photos. Or one of these incidents that you may have. Pollution, you can see steel plates, there's ingress of water in the cargo hold, discharging or lifting of a yacht. Unfortunate incident of the two crews that you have to call upon to investigate. Loss prevention survey, you can see the Chikomings. Oh, I love that one, the wooden houses. That was recently in Indonesia. I've got my favorite tugboat went through and hit several wooden houses along the river, and it was just 5 days before Eid, and this is in Indonesia, so you can imagine they had no homes during Eid. Yeah? But these are the things that we are called upon to do. Or we can sit by and watch the sunset. So it's either way. So a marine surveyor, we are called upon to verify a lot of things, to assess, provide answers, right? We are sometimes the third party. We have to give an independent and objective view. I love Fernandez's talk just now about the guy with many hats. And we represent various different parties. We might also be, although I say we are jack of all trades, but to be honest, we cannot do everything. We may be good just in cargo. We may be good just in warranty surveys. We may be good. The engineers, I mean, they are perfect for the engine room. Don't, you know, if I send a master mariner, yes, he knows, but the nitty-gritties are the marine engineers. So we cannot say we know everything, but we know enough, yeah? So there are different expertise. We will be called upon to do it. We also represent, most of the time, we represent insurers in cases of claims of damage, when there's a casualty. And this is the part, when we come to a casualty, if you think of an incident, if you think of a cargo survey, if I ask you to go, I say, Anand, please attend on board this vessel, I have a cargo damage survey for a P&I. Now he goes on board, right? Now he has to tell me exactly what's happening, but besides him attending, remember, there's also the cargo owners, surveyors will be attending. The cargo interest, there will be a joint survey, right? So we will have to deal with people. So who do we represent? In a nutshell, this is who we represent, okay? Or we call them our principals from various areas, as I said, P&I, H&M, cargo, transport liability, charterers, ship owners, cargo interests, even lawyers, financial institutions, and sometimes even for port authorities, for the authorities themselves. All of you, I mean, IMS has a code of ethics. You all know what it is. I don't have to stand here and tell you what are the code of ethics as marine surveyors, all right? Basically, conduct your business in a professional manner, maintain independence, integrity, and objectivity. That comes back to Fernandez's paper. When he was presenting that, a lot of this ethics came through my mind. Everything was floating in my mind. Avoid prejudice and conflict of interest. Now the last one is what I put myself. That is my additional code of ethics, which I find it's missing in a lot of our surveyors, okay? Good interpersonal skills. Diplomatic, oh, the best one is sense of humor. Please have a sense of humor, you surveyors, okay? We must have a sense of humor, right? And assertiveness. Right? We must have a certain amount of assertiveness. So please remember the fourth one as well. Please add into your code of ethics. Yeah. Now, when we have a casualty, I put a picture up of this. We are taking I'm coming to a scenario now. When we have this. You are appointed as a surveyor. You have to deal with various people. Various parties who are with you and who will be against you, okay, depending on whether you are there to defend or you are there to pursue. It all depends. But you have to maintain the code of ethics plus the additional that I give you, all right, and deal with various surveyors, lawyers, and experts. So this is a picture, basically, what you have to do when you have an explosion aboard a vessel. You have to deal with hull and the adjusters. You have to deal, if you're a P&I surveyor, for example, you have to deal with cargo interests or an opponent vessel because it was caused by, you know, a collision. Salvos, you have to control of the evidence if you're a P&I on board the vessel, with agents, government authorities, everything you have to do, right? can you do on your own sometimes? That's a question you ask yourself. Can I do it on my own? We cannot. We need help. Although I know that I have to protect my client, I still need help because it's a big casualty. I can't do it myself. Assuming in my office, I only have 3 of us, 3 surveyors. And the 3 of us to handle this for P&I, it's not sufficient. So what do? I call on fellow surveyors. I say, listen, I have this case. If you are not involved, can you please help me with this? And we will work together. That's another way of synergy with your fellow, as you say, competitors. Okay? It can be done. Because the end result is your client in a case like this. So what do? We have to work alongside other surveyors and experts. Most of all, we have to maintain confidentiality. Even if you have to work with the opponent surveyors, you have to maintain that. It's your principal's interest that you have to protect. Be diplomatic, be objective. Most important, have knowledge of practices, customs, and contexts, both in authorities as well as service providers, contractors, and salvors. So again, in a casualty, when you're appointed for a P&I, as a P&I surveyor, you have to work with this group of people. How many of us really, when we are out there, do we call on a competitor really and says, can you help us out? You are an expert in this area, assuming maybe pollution. Can you help us out? As a business person, and in this industry for over 20 years, right? I don't see very many of my competitors coming to me and ask me, can you help me out? Although I have certain speciality in certain areas. Then I ask myself, do I then go out and ask my competitor to help me? Do I call upon their expertise? I'm proud to say that I do. But how many of us here really do that? Okay. We are all, business owners, we work for different companies, we are individuals. Can we work together, as one? How do we work together as one, surveyors? I touched on this subject today, and I told Millen that I was going to throw a spanner in it. It's because although we are marine surveyors, we come together in this conference, we have a laugh, we have a drink, and things like that. But when we are out there in the real world, it's a competitive world. We all want to protect our own business. We all want to protect our own dollars and cents, right? But please do try, when you have instances, work together. When you have the opportunity, we should work together, although we come from, we have our own different companies. Call upon the experts. Remember, who instruct you is your principal. If your principal is a P&I insurer, all right, you want to deliver the best job for them. You want to make sure you protect them, right? So if you don't have an expert, if you don't have an engineer in your office, right, call on your neighbor, call on your friend and says, listen, I know if you are not in any conflict, could I please have your engineer join me with this work that I have? Of course, you can discuss dollars and cents. That's another thing. But I think the most important is to try and synergize and work together for that. So please try and do that. Yeah. I don't know how many of you do. I don't even want to know the show of hands here. Okay, but think about it. Yeah. So can we work together? Can we work together with opponent surveyors without compromising our professionalism? I didn't want to put another word, without compromising our dollars and cents. Yeah. That's basically I mean, that's the hard truth, whether you like it or not. This is the hard truth, right? But this is something, the last time when I came to talk, I talked about promoting education for surveyors. This time, I'm here, I'm asking you all, try and work together, share the expertise. We are not experts in everything. It doesn't make any difference to us. In fact, it makes us better, it makes us more professional if we call upon our fellow competitor and says, I need your naval architect. Could you please help me out on this job? Okay? It doesn't make you any smaller. In fact, it makes you more professional doing that. So basically, what I want to say is maybe the next year, the 2 years when I come in, then I'm going to ask, and I'm going to ask the same people, show me the hands, how many of you have called upon your competitor and worked with them? Okay? So you've got 2 years to start working on it, right? Please do. So, we come back to it. Can we work together? Of course we can. Now, the other one more thing that you will have to remember is when you're working as surveyors with opponent surveyors is, although you protect your clients, it doesn't mean that you restrict. Okay, you restrict. Of course, if when I'm doing a straight survey for a collision, right, when the opponent surveyor comes on board my vessel, I restrict him, I follow him everywhere he goes, Basically, I tie his hands, I close his ears, I only leave a portion of his eye open to the damaged area, all right? We don't have to do that. Nor am I saying let him run around the vessel as wild and do whatever he wants. But I think the diplomacy, the working together and says, listen, I know why you are here. I've been in your position before. I know you would want this document, that document. Please go ahead, make a list. Tell me what you want. I'll put them together. I'll send it over to my principals. I will get permission and give it to you. Don't tell him, because I've got people telling me, no, cannot. I don't want to give you anything. You cannot have it. You must only see this area and please get off the ship as soon as possible. That's not the right way to do. That's not professional. That's not working together, although he's opponent surveyors, right? So please work with diplomacy. Have a sense of humor. If someone is coming on aggressive to you, yeah? Just as Nandi said, we walk away. Sense of humor. Make a joke out of it. Laugh with it. It will ease the tension. So that's why the last bit I put myself. We do not criticize. We do not be judgmental. We do not be aggressive. But I can stand here and say there are a time in our surveying job that we did all three. I'm sure nobody can say they never did it, right? At least once or twice in your marine surveying career, you've done it, right? So, remind ourselves, okay? We can work together. Although they are opponent surveyors, they are our competitors. We can synergize. How we synergize, that is the question. And how are we going to do it? That's another question. But if we make an effort, we can. All right, please. We are all here together. I mean, we belong to the same institute. But when we get out there, tomorrow or Friday or Saturday, when we go back to our own offices, what do we have? The first thing that comes into our mind, oh, we are competitors. We are not. I forgot about this 14 and 15 in Kolkata. We are competitors. I'm going to fight for my job. I'm going to bid lower so that I get the job. You compromise. Don't compromise too much. Okay? Try and work together. Yeah? See what we can do. I mean, I've done it. Some of you have got instructions from me, right? I've done it. I'm not afraid of it. Yeah? And we get on along so well. Although there are times we have to bid for jobs. We are competitors. There are some times when you are there and I'm here. So what? But it worked. Because it worked for me, and I know it can work for you all too. All right? So I hope that what I wanted to say today was coming from my heart, from what I've seen over the years. And I think this is something that most of us surveying companies don't talk about. So I brought it up. Please talk about it. All right? Just talk about it. Think about it. Work together, even though you are competitors. And if you meet competitors, please do not criticize, do not be judgmental, and do not be aggressive. I've had this happen to me. Don't let it happen. And don't make it happen. All right? Thank you. That's it.
Lively speech. Please stay back, Tina. Please stay back. Stay back.
Want to give me something?
Yeah. There are a lot of resistance from the honest beginning surveyor and from the masters. Lively speech. Please stay back, Tina. Please stay back. Stay back.
Want to give me something?
Yeah. There are a lot of resistance from the honest beginning surveyor and from the masters. And your piece of advice will go in a long way and will make synergize among the surveyors. Thank you. On behalf of the IIMS Indian chapter, can I request Mr. Tony sir to come and give a memento to Tina.
So befitting after your presentation. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am. Please stand aside.
Okay. Oh, more, is it, for the ladies? We should have more ladies come up and speak to you guys, you know. Yes? Thank you.
He is going to be presented by Mr. Uday Murthy. He is going to talk on catalytic fines in fuels, oils, and their repercussions. Mr. Uday Murthy is the managing director of Quest Marine LLC, Dubai. A very dynamic surveyor, a good engineer, and a keen learner. He is a live example of synergy with his reach of business far and wide from South America to Africa, Middle East, and Indian subcontinent. I think he has, if I'm not mistaken, presented similar paper in Dubai seminar. I happened to watch on the YouTube. Quite a bit of R&D he has done in preparing this paper. This is over to you, Mr. Uday.
Which you said at the end, my wife had heard it. No judgmental, don't be judgmental, don't be critical. Anyway, thank you. Distinguished guests and respected members of the fraternity. It gives me great honor to stand amongst you and speak on a very, very diabolic topic. For those who have heard it, like Mr. Srini just said, I did make this presentation in the London conference. Incidentally, it was also before lunch, so most of the people walked out. So today I've requested Milind to lock the doors so that people stay here. It's quite technical, so it can get a bit boring. But with the help of my colleagues back in my office, we have done quite a lot of research and a lot of hard work in putting this thing together. I should also give due accolades to the ones from whom I have borrowed ideas and snippets from the club bulletins and the underwriters like